Can you say how you're different now to when you first came to Chrysalis? Are you aware of how you're different?
When I first came to Chrysalis, I don't even ask them, I was very rude. I was just violent and rude and all that. And now I've built a lot of confidence. I can do things in front of people. I can stand up and stand my ground for anything.
And I remember you on the first week, I think it was, in the corridor. You didn't even want to be in the room. Do you remember? You look very different now. You look very different.
And now I can smile. You know, and I smile a lot, and I just feel happy. I'm very happy these days. Nowadays, I smile without a reason, but I'm smiling.
When we started doing it, it was a great experience for me because it made my body lighter. And as the weeks went by, we did it. And I started shaking and shaking more and more and more. And it released all the stress and trauma on my body. And it made me very comfortable, calm. And thanks to Dr. Melanie who introduced TRE to us. I would like to introduce it to my community.
After 10 sessions, it certainly seemed to me, and from the feedback that the facilitators got, that the girls got an enormous amount out of TRE itself. They get a lot out of being a Chrysalis, of course. They certainly leave as very different young people.
I wasn't one to speak about problems, or I would just bottle it up and keep it to myself. And then after a while, I actually started talking about like how I feel and like releasing stuff, and it always happened after, not directly after the TRE session, but like few days later I would want to speak about how I feel.
And if maybe we can get the bursaries for us to go and be trained as the TRE trainers, and I think that will be good so that we can help the youngsters, because I'm dealing with a group of young children there in my community. So if ever I can have more knowledge on that, I think it will be better.
I just wanted to know, I wanted to find out what can I do if I want to go out in my community, because in my community where I come from, this gangsterism and that, and I feel that for youngsters in my community especially, if they can try to do the training emotionally, it will help them, you know, so they can be able to live a better and healthier life. So I wanted to know, what can I do?
Well, it's not this. Having done this at Chrysalis does not give you a certificate to go and work with communities. You can show your family, that's not a problem, you know your family. But to go and work with people who have got problems, as such as you get in the communities where they've experienced trauma, maybe they've experienced violence, maybe they've experienced rape, there's all these problems. It's not easy to work with them. You need to be trained properly, okay, in the way that all these people are being trained. What I'm going to tell the Chrysalis staff is that if any girls are interested in training perhaps to do TRE as a job, as a career in your communities, then we can look at the possibility of getting you trained.
I would love to.
Okay, okay.
Goals that we started off with.
And the one girl says she does it every day. They all said, yes, she trains every day.
Wow.
And the one girl also said that she's taking it out to her community. She, Nadine, she said she wants to start something, she wants to give back to the community.
You know, when you kind of would call us to do it, because I did. I would say, come on, Melissa, you know. And I thought I was kind of being pushy because I didn't feel comfortable doing that. But they said they felt cared for, and that you were singling them out and kind of saying, come on, do it. because in retrospect they've realised that persevering has paid off.
All of them tremored. Two of them very proud of the fact that they didn't need the ball anymore. They're done with the ball. They've moved on.
So yeah, it was just such an enormous privilege to be part of their exuberance and their love. You know, they were just oozing love, all of them, and enormous gratitude. We're incredibly grateful for the experiences that they've had here. So to see the transformation from the beginning to now is, it's quite phenomenal.
We certainly would like to explore using it as a feature of our 3-month program going forward. But as a management team, I think we'll do a debrief, look at the results, do an assessment with the current students who are doing it. We may take a group of students and just use TRE on them and then compare how they're doing with the others.
Children in the communities are traumatized all the time by circumstances, by gangs, gunshots, seeing violence in their homes. So these girls are going back to an environment where there is such a high level of tension amongst children. If we imagine them working, they would like to work with children, like to help children. So children that are so highly traumatized that they can't focus at school, for instance. And I would like to see them being able to have a group where the children are able to feel safe for a while, to de-stress. And
we don't actually resolve those issues by just counselling. And I think what I've found with TRE, there is a deeper level, a level that I personally don't understand yet, but it is a level that is definitely needed, especially with adolescents within the Western Cape, because the amount of rape cases as well within the Western Cape is a lot.
We knew about the challenges in our communities. We didn't even know or could imagine the extent of the trauma to the girls who are now wanting to do the training. And if I can bring it to the Western Cape province, I mean, this is the province with the higher incidence or the greatest number of people using substances at a very low age, you know. And we have found from our limited experience here that many of our young people are using substances. There are often things behind it. So I think we're very clear that we want to be able to create a much more enabling environment for everyone who comes here, but also for people in our communities. And I think we see these girls as Chrysalis ambassadors, taking the work forward that we do here into our communities. Yeah. You know?
To teach others to understand what is the effect of trauma, because they understand it themselves and they can almost link these things into terms of behavior, in terms of physiological, psychological experiences that they go through, and they can almost connect the dots. And if they can understand that through the training, and they can go and share that lesson and create that awareness and educate in that way, being just further ambassadors, not just in terms of TRE, but just the awareness of the effect of the abuse and the trauma, that it's not just an event that happens now, but it has such a lifelong ripple effect in a